So, I know that you're here today for a couple of reasons, but before we get into that, how's your day going?
It's going well. It's been busy, lots of classes today, but other than that, I'm doing pretty well, just tired.
Do you have any tests or anything this next week?
Yeah, I have a test coming up, but I feel pretty good about it.
So. Well, that's good. That's good. So, I just want to say before we start talking about anything that I want to respect you, and if I ask you any questions that you weren't comfortable with or that you don't want to answer, you are more than free to just say, hey, I'm not comfortable with that, I'm not going to answer, and that's fine. And I just want you to know that I am filming this for one of my classes for social work generalist practice. So there is potential that my teacher might select this interview to show to the class just as like a learning thing. So if you don't want that to happen, or if there's anything that you don't want shown, you can just tell me and I will tell her, I'll pass the message along.
Okay, great.
So, everything fine?
Well, I mean, obviously not since I'm here.
No, I'm saying is everything fine? Everything. So why are you here?
I understand.
Okay.
Well, I've been feeling just a lot of anxiety lately, so much that I can't even sleep. Yeah, and it's been the past like 6 weeks. I just am afraid that it's going to start interfering with my grades because if I can't sleep,
you can't sleep, you can't function.
Yeah, and I just feel really nervous going out, and so I don't go out of my dorm anymore except to go to class and to eat, and I'm not sure.
So not really like any social interaction with outside, like not outside of class or anything?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel pretty isolated.
Okay. Did you used to hang out with a lot of friends?
Yeah, I made friends here my first year. I'm starting my sophomore year, and I mean, I felt like I was doing just fine adjusting. I was scared to come here, but I felt like, I came here, I made friends, I did well with my classes.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's starting to change a little bit with my friends and everything. I'm still doing well so far in my classes, but without sleeping and everything, I'm afraid I'll deteriorate,
So you are getting anxious and not sleeping, but you're still doing well in school. You just kind of fear that because of that, you'll start slipping, and then you kind of just started isolating yourself within your room and away from your friends. Is there a reason for that? Are there any problems going on with your friends right now?
I mean, no, not really. I think problems coming from me.
You just want to be alone.
Yeah, but at the same time, it feels bad to be alone. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I get exactly what you're saying about wanting to be social but then wanting to be alone.
Yeah.
Are there any other issues that have been coming up? Are there any family issues that you've been dealing with that are related?
I mean, things are okay with my family, how families are.
Yeah.
But I actually went home for the summer, and I really enjoyed being back home with my family and my friends. It felt very comfortable, and when I was there, my mom was talking and saying, talking about how my college is so far away from home, and I kind of felt guilty about it, and I've been thinking about transferring to a school closer ever since she kind of brought that up.
So you only get to go home like around holidays and stuff? You can't just like go home whenever you want?
Yeah, and now since I'm considering, taking summer classes this time and not going home for the summer, it's making me really nervous.
I gotcha.
Because I feel like I won't get to go back, and I really enjoyed it. And I feel bad that I can't see my mom.
Yeah. Do you feel like part of your anxiety might be, do you feel almost as if your mom is trying to guilt you into coming back home? Or do you feel as if she just genuinely misses you but wants you to like thrive here and just like wants you to know how much she misses you when you're gone?
Yeah, well, I don't think she has a plan,
A motive.
Yeah, like a motive, but I feel like she just says what she says, and then it makes me feel guilty whether or not she really knows it or intends for it to, I know that she would like for me to be around more.
Yeah. So do you think that possibly like your mom saying that might be part of the reason you're pulling away from your friends? Are you maybe trying to distance yourself from your friends because you're considering transferring? Or do you feel like the two are unrelated?
I feel like that's reasonable to think. Like, for me, I can't really think of the reasons why, but
yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm trying,
well, thank you for
I'm trying to figure it out for you.
Well, yeah, it seems like if I'm considering moving away, I don't want to have those attachments and then miss them because it's like
you don't want to create
homes.
super strong bonds because then you'll just have to break those. But obviously, you've known your mom a lot longer, and it sounds like you'll have a close relationship. So I understand that. Are there any other things besides school that are making you anxious, or what are other things that are going on right now?
Well, it's not even school, the thoughts of school that keep me up at night. It's more, I just have things that I never really worried about before that I'm just thinking about over and over. Like, I'm worried if my mom's okay health-wise. I'm worried about if my pets are safe and worried about if one of them's gonna die. And I'm worried about the house just setting on fire. I don't really know where those thoughts are coming from. I've never had them before, and I don't really have a reason to. I've never had
your
a
house
house
never
fire
caught on fire.
Yeah, and so it's like confusing to me that I'm even thinking these things.
Your mom's not said anything about being ill. Is there any reason why you would think that your mom's health is deteriorating? Or is that just like stuff that you're coming up with?
Other than her getting older and anything that would naturally come with getting older, no. I mean, she's still active and has a job that she goes to every day. She's an educated woman and she has a good job and she's fine.
Okay, well, it sounds like to me that I know that I've had anxiety before, and sometimes I'll get weird anxiety attacks that are completely irrational. I'll get anxious for the weirdest reasons, and it won't stop until I start thinking about something else, or until someone says to me, like, why is this getting to you like that? And so I think that a good idea might be to figure out if you genuinely want to transfer, if you want to stay here, or if you want to transfer, because I mean, either way you'll get a good education, I'm sure, and I'm sure your mom is proud of you wherever you are, but if you would like to be closer to your mom, that's something you need to consider for you and not for her, obviously. And I think that figuring out whether you want to be here or closer is one of the first steps that you need to take in order to assess, like, continuing on. But if you decide to stay here, which I hope you do, it's a great school, I hope that you can start to realize that you don't need to worry about those things. I know that being so far from home, it's hard to say like what's going on or see, everyone every day, and so you do feel fears, it's like, I wonder what my dad's up to, and so I know, even with me, I live 2 hours away from home, but still, it's like I'll talk to my parents very often because it's like, just want to know you're okay. So I would suggest talking to your mom a lot, talking to her. If y'all talk like 10 minutes a day, that would probably be good. But otherwise, I think that it would be really great to plug into a group that holds you, I don't want to say holds you accountable for going, because I'm sure that you're very responsible, but I think it's important to go to some type of group that will be there for you and be like a support system for you and that you want to go to, something that you enjoy, something that will make you happy and that will, boost your spirits, Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, and that sounds like something I need to do.
Yeah.
Get that social support back.
Yeah, and then I think if that stuff doesn't work, then maybe following up with a psychiatrist or like someone, because I know that some anxiety, does need to be treated with drugs, and I never think that we should jump to that as a first step. But I think that if, trying to get back into social events and talking to your mom and figuring out that and seeing if this is where you want to be or if you want to go home, I think after you figure all that out, if you're still having reoccurring, anxiety attacks, if you can't sleep, if you're just always anxious, then it might be wise to go to a psychiatrist and see what they can do for you in that regard. But
would you be able to help me find that if I need to?
For sure. Yeah, we have a list of psychiatrists in the area that are really good, really smart people. And obviously, like I said, I don't think drugs should ever be a first choice, but I know for me, I had anxiety and I got prescribed anxiety medicine, and even just knowing that I have it kind of soothes me at times. A lot of times I don't actually need to take it, but just knowing oh, hey, if I get anxious, I have something, it kind of helps a little. So if it gets to that point, then obviously I for sure recommend going and seeing someone with a little, medical background. But I think that we've thought of some really good first steps to take. What do you think?
Yeah, I think especially figuring out whether I should transfer or not, since that's kind of a time-sensitive thing, will be really useful and might even help my anxiety, since it's sort of a thing I need to figure out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I can start taking those steps, and they seem like good little beginning things.
Yeah, and there are things that you can do at your own pace. I mean, obviously evaluating whether you want to stay here or go somewhere else, you're going to have to figure out before you can enroll for summer classes, but you have time to think. You can talk to your parents if you get plugged in with a group, and I can help you find a group if you'd like.
Great.
But if you get plugged in with a group, maybe those people will have, other opinions as to whether you should stay here or go home, and I think that's just a really good start for us to take. And then if you ever need to come talk to me again, my door is always open, and I would love to hear from you. Hopefully I don't have to, though, because hopefully you'll be doing super great.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear about whether progress has improved or not.
I'd like to tell you.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Enter? I think that was good. On my phone it says 9 minutes and I started 2 minutes afterwards.